Okay, hello everyone. It is Ariel, also known as Today. I am Can You Dig It's
Speaking.
representative. Yeah, that's what I kind of am today. I'm his representative because I now know that I have to watch all of the videos that Santana posts before he posts them because sometimes sometimes he can get a little off track. So, if I'm not here to keep him on track, like if one of the kids wake up or something, I wake up the next morning and I'm like, I see you missed the whole thing that brought it all together. I know why people think you're crazy. So, a couple of things. Anybody who has been following our research knows about the Santana effect, the 13-year pattern, and the number 62 pattern as well, and the different results that we've gotten with that. If you are not familiar with it, you can still start with this. You can start with any of our videos, to be perfectly honest, but it's so much information that you probably should go back and look at some of like the stuff that we have on YouTube and on Rumble. If you are new to this information, you should go to Rumble and look at the number 13 video, and I'll put the link in the description as well. And as you guys know, I constantly say, like, listen, we don't do this for likes, follows, or anything. It's just that throughout our journey, we had to look at things a little differently and start looking at everything, and which we started with us. So we kind of saw how things were going for us, and we started to see that, hey, wait a minute, there's a pattern. So that's how we came about even finding this. So then we just started looking at different things that have taken place throughout history, and we find that it correlates with these same patterns with the number 13 and the number 62. There are many other patterns, and other people have found many other patterns, but this one that we have been working on is very, very specific because it is predicting things that are happening while we are here. And that's what makes it so valuable, because it's crazy because we all know about Edgar Casey, the American prophet, the sleeping prophet. All of the presidents met with him because everybody seems to, all the people who take care of us and are in charge of us, they seem to want to talk to these people, but they make you guys believe that if you ever meet any of these kind of people, they're crazy. They've convinced you guys very, very well, and at some point, somebody's got to listen to the crazy guy. Listen, I'm just saying, at some point, take away all of the antics and all of whatever it is that is giving you discomfort or whatever, and please look at what we are showing you. That's why we do things on Google. That's why sometimes our stuff isn't together, because we're trying to show you, like, listen, this is easily researchable for yourself, and you see that we're just using numbers. But this situation that I want to bring to you guys is so crazy that and the fact that we know the person. And Santana did a video the other day about the situation because he personally knows this person. But I wanted to share with you guys this situation that happened in Baltimore with someone who was actually employed by us, who was working inside of the prison, which means that he had a security clearance, a very high security clearance, to be able to work inside of prisons. You can't just walk inside of a prison and that's just that. You have to get clearance. Well, this gentleman also, well, maybe I shouldn't use gentleman, but this guy also he also worked in the schools. That's where he primarily worked. He was a karate teacher. It's crazy. Um, he apparently did a lot of things. He also was a pastor. You're going to find a bunch of articles about this, and they talk about him just being this karate teacher. They're trying to make that a thing. But they don't talk about the fact that this dude is a pastor too. Okay? So, I want you guys to see this. It says karate teacher at Cherry Hill School charged with molesting 8 and 10-year-old sisters, impregnating a 14-year-old as well. So, I'm looking at this guy, and we actually let him go, and it had nothing to do with any kind of anything like that. He just had he had a different kind of work ethic that was not fitting for our company. He wanted to treat our job as like a part-time job, even though we were paying him double his salary that what he was getting paid by the schools. The schools don't even pay right. So he had the priority with the schools, and we're just thinking like, well, I mean, he's a karate teacher. He's been doing karate teacher stuff in these schools for years. He's got a passion for it. That's how you're looking at it. You're not thinking like, oh, why does he want to be around kids all the time? He's a teacher. So come to find out, this guy is being accused of impregnating a 14-year-old girl that they know of, and apparently there's some other children. But I just wanted to bring into light some of the comments that are in here, because a lot of his students are in these comments, and you're going to see people saying things like, people knew, the school knew, and you're trying to figure out like, well, if the kids are telling you, and all of the newspaper articles too, this is the thing. So this is the thing that tipped us off when they said that this had been going on all the way back. It says Baltimore City Public Schools accused of having multiple intimate relationships with minors dating back to 2009. They time-stamped his beginning time as 2009, which would bring you to now 13 years later. So they allowed this man to go through these schools and be a predator to all these children. He had access to so many children all the time for 13 years. Because, you guys, we are telling you that they are working off of some different rules that we know nothing about. And it's numbers. It's a number system. And his number was pulled. 13 came up for him, and it was it. He's not going to see the light of day. Nobody's rooting for this guy. Nobody. Nobody can get around like, wait a minute. You actually impregnated a child? He's allowed to do it. It says, why wasn't he arrested after impregnating the 14-year-old girl? Her parents never wondered who was the father? Like, how could this happen? And it says, people are going on and on and on and on and on. Look, it says, oh my God, this man would really try to persuade me to bring my daughter to his classes. I'm so happy I didn't. My prayers go out to the little girls and their families. This is horrible. And, people saying I used to work around him. Oh my God, he creeped me out. But I wanted to get to the part where it's his students saying that, hey, this guy was allowed to do this. It says this should have never happened, let alone went as far to go this long. Shaking my head, I hope the parents sue the hell out of the schools, because I knew, and I had been telling people about this. It's weird, like, how are you going to be the volleyball coach and the karate teacher? He couldn't come cut glasses. Yeah, he can't come cut glasses, but you the volleyball teacher, you the karate teacher, you the substitute, you everything. You're doing all of these things. Like, people just cannot believe what's going on with him. So once we read the article, Santana starts thinking back, like, you know what, this makes sense. This is starting to make sense because none of his actions made any sense. And I just had to let him go because I wasn't going to go back and forth with a grown man asking me if he can come work at my office at 11 o'clock at night or at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, like clearly my position is not working out for you, so this isn't going to work out for you. So Santana starts thinking back, like, you know, his experience with this guy, and he says, you know what, I remember him telling me that he had to send some girls to Atlanta because they had gotten into a fight or something like that, and he had to get the girls out of there. So, oh, wait a minute. I don't think y'all can see this. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Let me just go to YouTube. Hold on, guys. Let me just go to YouTube here. So you guys can see this. Now, I know nothing about this. Now, you know, I knew the guy in passing and everything, but, you know, nobody knows anything about this guy. But I will tell you that his number one student, he actually got caught up with some stuff messing with some children, and he had to go to jail for that. And he was acting like he was appalled by it. Cherry Hill. Here we go. Here it is. This is Baltimore. And what I also want you to see is I want you to look at this because these are children. These are children. It may be a couple adults in there somewhere, but these are children. And this is the conditions of the children in Baltimore. And this is the environment. This is the environment. And this is majority of the city. Okay? Here you go. No sound. I wonder why it's no sound. Hold on, guys. I wonder why it's not but y'all don't need the sound. It don't matter. Look at these. This is children. They are fighting one girl. It's one girl. Look at this. It's babies out there. You see that? That the girl couldn't be more than 7 years old. Look at that. They playing. They hitting with bats. No, that's fine. You can see it. Everything. You just don't. They don't need to hear that. But this is his kids. I mean, like, I don't know how they're his kids. I don't know what his relationship is with these girls, but he knows these girls, and he had to send some girls to Atlanta. I don't know anything more about that. I don't know anything about these children. I'm just finding out about this fight. But this happened about 5 years ago, and at that time he was saying that he had to help these girls out. So, and you go into the comments and you see that this guy was having sleepovers with girls, or the karate class would only be girls. All of these kind of things happening right under all of the administration's face. And the children were going to the administration telling the principals that this guy was inappropriate and trying to touch people because it didn't work off well with everybody, you know. And they would tell, and nobody would listen to the children. Nobody would listen to him. So this guy was also convicted in 2012. He was convicted in 2012, but guess what? It's not on his record because they take things off of these people's records because they are allowed to do it. It is a system in place that lets these predators and so on, and murderers and everything else that we're dealing with, and mass shooters and all of that kind of stuff, they are in the system and they're allowed to do these things. But see, the thing about it is, if we make awareness about this pattern that we all know, and we can call them out and basically say bullshit, we know that this was allowed, because this is not how parents would handle this situation. As soon as some parents know about anything like that, they're going to take the law into their own hands. But see, this situation is a little different. This guy can really, really fight. Like, literally, Santana told me this guy can fight his ass off. And even in the comments, you got people saying, like, listen, I don't know anything. All I know is he can fight, and he can fight multiple people at one time. Okay? So this guy had a 13-year streak of violating children, and he knew that he had the system on his side, and he would just beat whoever's ass. So these weapons they have, and now they're going to have it inside of the prison. So it just never stops. But let me take it even further. So what we also have found in our research, because we have not just done research about this 13 pattern, this sacrifice stuff, and this number 62, we also know about names and frequencies. Okay, the craziest thing about this situation is when we were trying to find out more information about this dude that we knew from Baltimore, we kept getting all other information about this guy. A matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I have to open up another window for that too. Yeah, wait till y'all see this. You're not gonna believe this. And this stuff is all around us. They are lying to us, and you just won't believe how much control they have over us, even with our names, man. This is crazy. So this guy, computer science teacher 54, wept in court after being cleared of groping a 14-year-old pupil for sexual thrill in front of her classmates during a lesson. And what is his name? Stephen Kenyon. The only difference is the spelling, the Y. Now, see, understand, this guy got off. Okay? He got off. So clearly it's something different between the I and the Y, because that is the distinctive difference. But that's the same goddamn name. That's the same name. And he assaulted a 14-year-old girl, just like Kenyon from Baltimore assaulted a 14-year-old girl and got her pregnant.
That's the why. That's the why he got off.
It's why, and that's why, what's his name, got off, because he didn't impregnate anybody. He didn't go that far. Well, they didn't catch him going that far, because these people, this is my point. You cannot backtrack a predator like that to a specific year. This is a behavior. This person has behaved in this manner his whole life. You can't do certain things. You don't just start doing certain things. That's what I'm trying to say. Some things
you can't say
are
a 56-year-old started 13 years ago.
Right, definitely. You can't say a 56-year-old just started 13 years ago. And you can't say that a person that would impregnate multiple babies, and I mean these are babies, these are like 14, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds. You are not impregnating them, and you're worried about you being sick. You know what I mean? Or you're fighting with some demons or something like that. No, you are the demon. You've totally embraced it, and this is what you've been, and you've been comfortable in this for a very, very long time, and that's because they are allowed. They are allowed.
And you cripple some children.
It's just terrible. But let me show you. It's just so crazy. So I want you guys to understand that this is not some crazy obsession we have. This shit plays out in our day-to-day life, because regardless if we can say they're attached to the system, well, they're literally lurking they living next door to us. They're living next door to y'all. They're living next door to your children. They're teaching your children. So this affects you. This affects you directly, and I'm trying to make people understand that this affects you. If you don't believe me about this whole thing with if you don't believe me about this whole thing with the 13 and how these things are designed and being allowed, you have to see this. You have to see this. Now, everybody has been talking about this guy in the news as of late, and we've known about him since the 80s and the 90s, but he's a big hit right now. He's got the Netflix series. Everybody's mad that they're even talking about this. Everybody's mad. Jeffrey Dahmer, this guy that everybody knows, he was eating people, necrophilia. He was targeting black gay men. But the thing about it is, what nobody seems to care about or is glossing over is the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer was allowed to do it for how long, y'all? This is right here in front of your face. 13 years.
It's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence?
Yes.
But I thought this was proof.
No.
You not getting it? You're getting it. You're getting it. I know you're getting. You can't deny this, right?
Yeah,
you can't deny this.
That's coincidence. Hey.
13 years, y'all.
Hey, listen. When did Sidney Poitier die 13 years after he received the Presidential Medal of Honor? Did Richard Pryor die 13 years after receiving the Mark Twain a Lifetime Achievement Award? You're going to find that Sidney Poitier, Richard Pryor.
Are they all on this document you have here?
I have two different ones.
Oh, so this may not be on
Check
here.
the other documents. I did Sidney Poitier and some other folks.
I don't know where.
It's a.
But you guys have to know that we're not making this shit up. Like, understand that the reason that we found it is because when the plane attack happened to us, it happened on March 13th, 2020, and everything else happened that day too. Literally, the whole world agreed to shut down on that day. The first female president in the Hellenic Parliament in Greece was elected. And not elected. They actually had a ceremony for her, appointed ceremony for her this day, when everybody else was scrambling and trying to figure out where they were going to be for however many months that they were telling us that we were going to be locked down. So I'm trying to tell you guys that this is no kind of thing that. This isn't some kind of gory, weird thing, twisted thing that we're trying to look at. Like, no, this affects us. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer, yes, he was an agent. Clearly, he's an agent. They had him in the 13-year algorithm. They can do it for 13 years. They are allowed to do this. But Jeffrey Dahmer was in the club with y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this affects us. Like, these people are lurking amongst us.
Listen, Wendy Williams, 13 years.
Yeah, Wendy Williams, when they did this to her and made her go completely batshit crazy.
13 years.
13 years.
Kardashians, 13 seasons.
Kardashians, 13 years after the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Who runs the media now? Keeping Up with the Kardashians comes in 2007. That's 13 years. You don't even have to be good at math for this.
And you'll see the show gets canceled 13 years later.
This is crazy, you guys.
Martin Luther King, leader of the civil rights for 13 years.
Yep.
Assassination. Malcolm X, leader of the Nation of Islam, 13 years before his assassination.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, I don't want to get too off track. I'm just trying to keep this into perspective for you guys because, Santana can go off the railing sometimes because he's very frustrated because he's really trying to give everybody a heads up and tell everybody what's going on. Now, I want y'all to see how he behaved when he realized what was going to happen with pipelines. Santana was telling everybody since the beginning of this year, like, hey, something's going down with the pipelines. You guys need to look at the pipelines. But see, the hilarious thing is, we're going to watch a little bit of this clip because I want you guys to see that we have the power to stop this. Listen, they are not, listen, understand that they don't want this guy to get heard. Understand that it's more important for this guy to not get heard than for them to pull out of their, they will pull out of their deal, what they have to do. They can't do it. They can't prove him right. But they keep doing it though. That's the crazy part. It's not supposed to work that way, but they keep doing it anyway. But it's because you guys are just watching and you guys are not taking this seriously. Because
helps.
but you gotta share this information. It is not for likes. I swear to you, it's not for likes.
Nobody likes me anyway.
We don't even do social media. None of our stuff is put together. Y'all see how it is when we do this.
And no one likes me anyway.
They don't like him.
Can you dig it?
They do not like him. But I am trying to explain to you. I am trying to explain to you guys that you guys might.
All future crimes.
You guys might need to listen to this
and
crazy
realize
guy.
that 4 hours later. If you want to know why that happened, it's because he did not die. He is not dead.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Y'all gotta hear this.
If you want to know why that happened.
Oh, okay. Okay. You already guys know about Dubai. So I'm trying to get you guys to the part.
Fuck them up. So for you guys,
Here you go. He's already ramped up.
Didn't think anybody was going to see it at the FBI. Guess who saw it? It's me. Hey, Raphael. Anybody watching? Let me say this. You better fucking share this information because they're about to try to blow up America. And if you don't share this information, God bless you, but fuck you. Because this is what they've done. We said the tallest building in the world should have the ability to be able to direct plumbing out of the building, right?
Oh no. I need to get past this.
Info at FBI.com or somebody's going to hurt us.
Okay, wait a minute. We're getting closer, guys.
Terrorism, that's a flaw. That's your flaw, the FBI. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, God bless you, but fuck you. Because they're killing more than 400,000 people because that was a design. They designed the flaw. And I just realized something that took place yesterday. I called 3 separate law enforcement agencies, and all 3 of them hung the phone up on me, and it's on video for you to see. But let me tell you about a flaw for us that's got us in a big flaw, and here's what's about to fuck them up. So for you guys who designed this flaw and didn't think anybody was going to see it at the FBI, guess who saw it? It's me. Hey, Raphael, anybody watching? Let me say this. You better fucking share this information because they're about to try to blow up America. And if you don't share this information, God bless you, but fuck.
This why y'all can't hear
what they've done. We said the tallest building in the world should have the ability to be able to direct plumbing out of the building, right? The FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, is supposed to be the largest intelligence gathering organization on the planet, right? They're so smart, right? So I got a question for you. Does anyone know
this is going
how
okay
to email the FBI? Would you be surprised if I told you that the FBI has made it impossible to send them an email? The FBI cannot receive an email.
He's about to get going. Hold on.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I'm hoping that I'm at the right part. But every time I go to a part, he's saying the F word.
What is the most common way of communication on this planet, Raphael?
This is going okay.
That's right. Are people calling? So here's a question I want to ask you, brother. Let's say that I have 3 brothers, and I live in Afghanistan. And 2 of my brothers in America have been radicalized. And they're planning on destroying the World Trade Center. But I don't want to snitch on them because they're my brothers. I don't want to snitch on my brothers, but I don't want my brothers to do this dastardly deed. So wouldn't it be nice if I could send them an anonymous email or a text message? Does no one think that it's crazy that the FBI can't be emailed? We cannot email the organization that's protecting us against terrorism. That's a flaw. That's your flaw. The FBI does not allow you to communicate with them because they're allowing it to happen. The flaw is we've stopped you to be able to tell us what's happening so we can let it happen. The flaw is you should be able to send the FBI an email.
Hold on, guys. It's getting amped up.
Emails professionally outside of the clown show, but Joe Rogan may be in it as the
I'm trying to get to the part when he actually talks about
everything that you did. We're telling everything you did. So the reason why the number is 640 accidents, because remember, they are in the design. They are designed to do this in the flaw. 640. 26 more accidents is going to happen on a date because the sense of humor of the sense of humor that you're looking at is they're trying to get to number 666. And they're trying to get to her number 666 for October the 31st. Because understand that this whole shitty existence that we're living under right now, that reality got put in place because of oil. But forget, this reality also got built on sugar. So on October 31st, 666 failures on the pipeline are going to hit on Halloween to kill sugar. Because this new reality, Bill Gates said you can't have no sugar. And what better way to kill sugar than Halloween? 666. It's in the algorithm. I'm going to burn you down.
Here we
you
go.
clowns who work for the devil. God gave it to me. I see what you are doing. The FBI is the flaw in our system that allows the attacks to take place.
So listen. He really did call the FBI. I don't know if you guys saw the video. He really did call the FBI to tell them that something was going to happen to the pipelines. He knew it. He knew it. Now, regardless if it's about sugar, regardless if it's about oil, regardless of what it's about, he has been screaming for at least since May. He has been screaming the pipelines, the pipelines, the pipelines. I gotta tell you, this is young Santana. Young Santana is very, very frustrated. And you guys may not understand his or even recognize his frustration because he's always yelling and cursing and getting off topic and, you know, going in on Roberta Gatewoods and Kathy Klansman's and gosh, everybody, Francis Ford's and all of this stuff. And it's like you guys are being clouded. You guys are being clouded up and you're not hearing the message. Do you understand that throughout history, I swear to God, throughout history, this character has always existed. This frequency has always existed, and you guys put them in a box and say they're crazy. But understand that your presidents, all of your presidents, would meet with this guy, Edgar Casey, and understand that this guy, Edgar Casey, this guy would just go to sleep. He would go to sleep and wake up and heal people and predict things. I see Nostradamus quotes getting circulated all throughout these different things. I see all of these other people saying I was going to predict this and all of this other stuff. And it's like, listen, man, if y'all think this is a game, then y'all don't have to be bothered with watching our videos anymore. That's perfectly fine. I can accept that. But understand that pipelines exploding is a big deal, and I swear to God, it affects you. It affects you, okay? Even if you're not hit directly by the big explosion, which is a pretty good chance you're going to feel something. Understand that it's going to divide America. You're not going to have any power. You're not going to have any heat. You're not going to have any oil. You're not going to have things that are very, very convenient for you, and you don't even know how to survive off of it right now. So you don't want that to happen. But you guys, the funniest thing is Santana really doesn't. He really, even though we've been exposing all of this truth, he really still would try to go through the right channels. He actually did call the FBI. He actually called the FBI to tell them, hey, I have some information, and I want to report it to you guys because they tell us you guys are the only ones who know how to stop anything. So this is how it went. This is how it went. Here we go. See there? This is a very casual day. He's in his wife beater, some glasses. So he's calling his FBI, his Federal Bureau Investigation Agency, employed by the American citizens. Look at him saving the day. Why didn't you put on a cape? You should have put on a cape. Should he have put on a cape? Do y'all want? Should he wear a cape? He should go all the way crazy. The yelling ain't enough. How long is it gonna take you to find a number to call FBI? What's going on here? Why is this taking so long? Why is this taking so long, honey?
Recharge. Please hang up now.
Here we go.
You have reached the Federal Bureau of Investigation's tip line for the Weapons of Mass Destruction Directorate. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance, investigative, or other purposes. If this is a call in regard to a chemical or explosive precursor threat, press 1. For a biological threat, press 2. Please provide user code for the area code. Call from now. I'm sorry, we did not get your response. Please provide user code for the area code. Call from now. I'll transfer you next to the representative. Can call them now.
Sorry guys, it's taking a very long time.
Thank you for calling the FBI. Can I get your first name, please?
Yes, my first name is Santana.
Can you spell for me, please?
Yes, it's Santana, like the singer of the rock group.
I'm sorry, it's real hard to hear you, sir.
Oh, like the rock group, like Santana, Santana.
That's official.
Sorry, Santana?
That's correct.
Okay. And what was the last name?
Nottage, Nottage.
Good. N and then November?
Yes.
Ottage.
That is correct.
Okay. And what's the date of birth for you?
Okay, this, get out, I don't, okay, fine. FBI probably already know it anyway.
You're good. That's November 11th, 1973.
That's correct.
Gave him all of his
What's
demographics.
the phone number for you?
443.
Gave him all of his demographics. He's being completely
794.
calm. He's professional. He's just trying to give out this information.
Okay, that was 443-794.
And this guy is just
That's
collecting his information. I guess that's how it
Okay,
goes.
and, home
Here we
phone,
go.
Like a landline or cell phone?
Nope, that's it. That's the only thing I'm talking.
You said it was a cell phone?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, it's a cell phone.
Alright. And what's the zip code for your area?
21117.
Okay, that was 21117.
That's correct.
Alright, and what is the federal crime that you're calling to report today?
Okay. So, it's kind of twofold. I'm reporting this crime because it's more than federal, but I'm reporting this crime as protection. I'm reporting this crime to you to let you know that the South Dakota pipelines and the Pennsylvania pipelines are going to be targeted and exploded in 2032.
That is going to be targeted and exploded in 2032.
That is correct. And this is just serving the
And how do
documentation.
you know this?
Okay. All right. The reason how I know this is I just did a podcast this past Friday explaining to the people, my friends in Dubai, that the Burj Khalifa building is going to get attacked by a plane in 2029. 4 hours later, the president died. I am in possession of an algorithm that lets you know when the events are going to take place and who's going to do it. Case in point. The Boston bombing took place in 2013, that marathon bombing. 13 years.
How do you know all this, sir?
Just listen to me.
How do you know all
And
this?
I
That's
promise I'm easy to
everywhere.
talk. I have an algorithm. Okay.
Just trying to explain
I'm a
it.
scientist. I investigate terror.
Please answer my question. How do you know this?
Oh, because I investigated.
Still
I'm
being
trying to
calm.
give you dates so I can explain it to you. If you can allow me to explain it to you, I'm a scientist and how I have these numbers. If you allow me to, I can tell you. I'm not hiding anything. I'm trying to tell you everything, sir. If you can allow me to tell you, I can tell you what you want to know. If you just let me tell you.
Okay, and so how did you investigate this?
Okay. All right. 2013, the Boston. Okay. So do you remember the Boston Marathon at the Boston in 2013 in Massachusetts?
And how do you know all this information?
God damn! Why are you making it hard for me to just give you some information?
There
I'm
you
trying
go.
to tell you how I know it. This is how I know it. I'm trying to explain to you.
Thank you for calling the FBI. You have a great day, sir.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
You see that? Now,
Do you see how hard it is?
now understand that that man was dismissive from the jump. He was dismissive from the jump. You know, he didn't want to hear anything he had to say from the beginning. So you can't talk to anybody. They put the most idiotic, unimaginable people on the lines for these phone calls. So you can't talk to anybody. So I'm trying to figure out, who do you call about these pipelines? Understand that this is going down. I know that Santana is hilarious. I know that Santana is yelling all the time. I know he's angry all the time. All of this kind of stuff. He's actually a hoot. But you have to understand where his frustration comes from. His frustration comes from a lot of really terrible things have taken place, and everything has been allowed to happen to us very publicly, and these things happen very publicly to other people, i.e. the victims of your Jeffrey Dahmers, i.e. your victims of Stephen Kenyon. The people are on the other side of this that have to continue to live this existence. So you should look at these things. You want to talk about Nostradamus? You know, Nostradamus is great. You know, we read Nostradamus. We look into all of these things. He's telling us about things that are taking place right now. You know, from all the way back from his time. Well, Santana's putting in front of us what's happening right now while we're living. While we have some control, while we have some say, while we can call these people out and say, bullshit, hey, we got y'all. We see what you're up to. this is done. This is over with. But you guys don't want to respect them. Like, it's just crazy. Like, everybody's got to get off of whatever hangups they got, because y'all got to understand that we are all the same. Like, we in this together. Like, they're sending people into our kids' school to shoot it up. You know, they're not doing that they're not doing it to them. This stuff isn't happening to them. It's happening to us. It's happening to your kids' friends. It's happening to your relatives. This is who it's happening to. This affects you. Jeffrey Dahmer was able to do this to regular guys that was just out having a good time. You know, so this is a terrible situation. And you guys have to wake up. And you guys have to make awareness and not just make it about, I don't know what everybody's issue is with Santana, especially the stuff that he's telling you. Like, some people have some information that is so compelling and it's so true, and we're showing you all of the evidence. Like, this 13-year thing, man, like, this is undeniable. This is undeniable. Like, this is proof that the system is allowing these things to take place. Like, why is everybody mad at Jeffrey Dahmer for doing what he did? Why isn't anybody mad at the system? Do you understand that the neighbor of him was calling while they actually allowed Jeffrey Dahmer to convince them that a 14-year-old boy was his boyfriend, his living lover, and they gave that boy back to Jeffrey, and then he killed him, and the neighbor was saying, no, that's a child, he was screaming. They let this happen. And it's 13 years, y'all. It's 13 years. You can't make this shit up. So back to the pipelines. The pipelines, y'all, are a big deal, and it affects you directly.
One of the environmental catastrophes, one of the great environmental catastrophes.
The pipelines will affect your life
is unfolding tonight
if they explode. It's already happened in Russia.
Denmark. The Nord Stream pipelines, which are enormous Russian-owned conduits that carry natural gas from Russia to Western Europe, have been breached. As we speak, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 are pouring millions of cubic meters of natural gas into the Baltic Sea. Pictures from the air, which you can now see on your screen, show a toxic bubble field more than half a mile wide. You can only guess at how many marine mammals are being killed right now. Countless. But the lasting damage may be to the atmosphere. Natural gas is comprised of up to 90% methane. Methane, as Joe Biden has often told you, is the key driver of global warming, which is, of course, an existential threat to humanity and the planet. So if you're worried about climate change, what just happened to the Nord Stream pipelines is as close to the apocalypse as we have ever come. So the question is, how did this happen? And it turns out it was not an accident. At the very same time that leaks in these pipelines were detected, Swedish officials recorded 2 powerful undersea explosions, each one of which was equivalent to hundreds of pounds of TNT. Nothing in nature can account for that. Almost immediately, the pipelines began leaking in 3 separate places. So there's only one explanation for what happened. This was an act of industrial terrorism. That was very obvious to the Prime Minister of Poland, and he wasted no time in saying so. Watch.
Today, we are also dealing with an act of sabotage. We do not know the details of what happened yet, but we can clearly see that it is an act of sabotage. An act that probably marks the next stage in the escalation of the situation we are dealing with in Ukraine.
We can clearly see, he said, this was an act of sabotage, an act of terrorism. Well, yes, we can see that. So the question is who did it, and of course the prime suspect is obvious. It would be the same man who caused domestic inflation here in the U.S. and stole the 2016 election from Hillary Clinton. That'd be Vladimir V. Putin. The Washington Post got right to it. Putin, they declared, is now weaponizing Nord Stream pipelines.
Why would he do that? It's his gas line. It's his pipeline.
Putin has decided to use, quote, pollution as an act of war. Progressive Twitter strongly endorsed this conclusion.
How stupid is that?
And that makes sense until you thought about it.
Exactly.
Vladimir Putin may be evil. They tell us that he is evil. But is he stupid? Probably isn't stupid. And yet, and here's the strange part, if you are Vladimir Putin, You would have to be a suicidal moron to blow up your own energy pipelines.
He's
That's
not
the one
either
thing
one of
you would
those.
never do. Natural gas pipelines are the main source of your power and your wealth, and most critically, your leverage over other countries. Europe
Why
needs
would you
your
destroy
energy
your
now more than
own?
ever with winter approaching. If you can't deliver that energy, then countries like Germany have no need to pay attention to what you want. You're in the middle of a war, an all-hands-on-deck war, so you need all the leverage you can get. Under these circumstances, there is no chance you would blow up Nord Stream 1 or 2. Not now, obviously. In fact, it's so obvious that even our famously dim Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, seemed to acknowledge it. Sabotaging Nord Stream, he said today, is, quote, clearly in no one's interest. Right, but really only half right. It is true that blowing up Nord Stream does not help Vladimir Putin. He would not do that. Why would he? But that doesn't mean that other countries wouldn't consider doing it. They would consider it, and we know they have considered it because at least one of them has said so in public. In early February, less than 3 weeks before the war in Ukraine began, Joe Biden suggested on camera that he might take out these pipelines. Watch.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
But how will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will. I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Notice how he phrased that. And he's the president. Doesn't phrase things by accident, particularly when he's reading off cards. He didn't say, I will pause the delivery of gas from Russia to Germany. He said, there won't be a Nord Stream 2. We'll put an end to it. We'll take it out. We'll blow it up. How will you do this? He was asked. I promise you we will be able to do it. They thought this through. And yet those watching, very much including us, didn't take Biden seriously when he said it. This is the president who has declared climate change the most pressing emergency in the history of the world. This is the man who lectures you about using a wood stove or driving an SUV because of its emissions. This is the guy who spent billions trying to mitigate cow flatulence because methane. Would that guy really blow up a methane pipeline in the middle of the Baltic Sea? It was hard to imagine. That would be an unimaginably reckless act.
I do not
That'd be the kind of thing
even
you would do
subscribe
if
to
you wanted
any
to
of
start a
these
nuclear
people. Tucker
war. It would be insane.
Carlson, none of these people.
And
but
yet, in retrospect, it's
I know
obvious
I'm trying to get
they were
y'all to
thinking about
listen
this because
to.
Joe Biden wasn't the
Can you
only
dig it?
person
I'm trying to get y'all to
suggested.
listen to him
Toria
to
Nuland,
see,
the
like,
State
hey
Department, said pretty
man,
much the very
somebody's
same
been
thing.
screaming about
Nuland is a
pipelines.
lifelong
I know
war
that he didn't
cheerleader. She worked
say
to
the
bring about
Nord
the
Stream
Iraq invasion, never
pipelines,
apologized,
but he's
kept
been
going.
telling everybody
She
about
helped
the
engineer the coup
pipelines
that
where we
overthrew the
are.
Iranian government some
Understand
years
that that's
back.
a weapon. The biggest
Clearly,
weapon in
she's
the
capable of
world
anything.
is water.
But environmental
They're fucking
terrorism,
up the water
even for Toria
with the
Nuland, that seemed
pipelines
too
and
much,
everything.
too
And trust me, it doesn't just
And here
stop
she
with
is,
water.
in
It
January.
stops with your energy. It stops
With regard
with
to Nord Stream 2,
initial impact,
we continue
everything.
to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
One way or the other, we'll stop Nord Stream. Now, looking back, those words seem chilling 8 months later as natural gas pours into the Baltic
Look at
Sea and
this.
into the
Come on,
atmosphere.
y'all.
So you have to
Come
ask,
on.
would the Biden administration really do something like this? We can't say for sure. We don't know for sure. We can tell you that close
Listen,
allies of the Biden
Everybody is so scared of Nostradamus' prediction about the zombies coming back. Everybody's worried about zombies coming back. Let's worry about the pipelines. Seriously, you guys, let's make some noise. Make some noise. We are trying to get our information out there, not for us, not for anything, because we don't want it to happen, man. We don't want it to happen. Why do you think this guy is screaming like this?
Take place. This is public. I'm telling you this. Fuck you for not telling nobody else. Because guess what? It's happening to you. If you don't tell everybody in the world that they are setting you up for a massive explosion, then fuck you. You sit there, but it's coming. It's in the algorithm. I got the dates and the time. Call me a nigger. But you asked the president of Dubai why he was dead 4 hours after we told them what they were doing in Dubai. In 2045, they're planning on destroying the 3 gorgeous dams in China.
The dams, y'all.
500 million people instantly.
Come on.
I have the algorithm.
We don't have to let this happen.
I want to know that.
All these people don't have to die. Even if you don't live in China, like, I don't want all them people dying. This is terrible. We all live here. We are the human race. At some point, when are we going to all say, hey, one rule needs to apply to everyone who is whatever we are? But you know what I mean. I am trying to get rid of all of these labels. I'm trying to get rid of white, black, Chinese, Hispanic. I'm trying to get rid of everything. We are the human race. We cannot allow these people to do this to us. You cannot continue to give them your power. You're paying taxes for this. You're paying for this for them to do this to you. The devil makes you do it to yourself. I'm not kidding, and I'm not religious at all.
You know, the FBI reports on the September 11th report was people telling the FBI that someone was going to fly into the World Trade Center with a plane. Well, the reason why no one could get through to the FBI because you cannot email the FBI. Listen, you should be able to email the FBI. You are responsible for safety.
This is why he's so angry.
Why will the FBI, why does the FBI...
We're not the bad guys. We're not the bad guys. They are. We're trying to tell, and the worst part about it is, he's so silly. He actually tried to call the bad guy. He called the bad guy to tell the bad guy what the bad guy was going to do.
The South Dakota pipelines and the Pennsylvania pipeline destroyed all of America.
We don't know what to do. That's the thing.
Of America.
Because nobody's taking it seriously. Like, the fact that Joe Rogan and all of these people with these big ass platforms don't want to hear about this so we can stop this from happening, and they want to keep pushing guys that want to put cars up in fake space. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Everybody, that's the only way you can stop it. Tell them to look at the numbers themselves. Don't listen to what I say. Look for themselves. It takes 10 minutes to see for yourself.
That's why he's so angry. That's why he's so angry, because this shit is really happening, y'all. This is really happening. They really blew up the pipeline. They really blew up the Nord Stream. They really did.
The White House believe they certainly did do it. Radek Sikorski is a Polish politician. He's chairman of the EU-USA delegation in the European Parliament. He's connected. He's also the husband of regime stenographer Ann Applebaum of The Atlantic magazine. Sikorski is so close to Joe Biden that he's got a picture of the two of them together in his Twitter profile. So when the pipelines blew up, Sikorski responded immediately, and here's what he wrote. "Thank you, USA." So once again, did the Biden administration really do this? It's hard to believe. Given that it's an atrocity, it's effectively an act of terrorism, we don't want to make that accusation. But we should tell you that, maybe not coincidentally, today a brand new pipeline was unveiled. A pipeline that carries non-Russian natural gas in roughly the same area as Nord Streams 1 and 2. This is called the Baltic Pipe.
Come on,
it was
y'all.
inaugurated in Poland. It will carry natural gas from Norway, from Denmark to Poland and other countries nearby. And it's likely to do very well, since now it has less
Can y'all please stop participating in the nonsense that Kanye is doing, and his wife, and what else is in the news? Whatever garbage is out there, y'all, listen, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. They just put a new pipeline in. Come on. Alright, and just for anyone who doesn't know, you can't just install a pipeline. This is something that's been in the works for a while. Okay? So what we're trying to say is, man, we've got a lot of information. This algorithm is imperative for humanity to be aware of, because it concerns literally the existence of mankind. We have power. We have control. We can get exact dates. We can get locations too. We need your help. We need your help, man. Like, we are so inundated with such bullshit. And I'm trying to show you, like, listen, y'all, you can't make this shit up. You can't. This dude's name is Stephen Kenyon. He impregnated a 14-year-old girl. Okay? Alright? You got the other guy. His name is Stephen Kenyon. He fondled and groped a girl. 14 years old. 14 years old. His pupil. 14 years old. His name is Stephen Kenyon. Stephen Kenyon. This guy, this Stephen Kenyon, this guy got to do this for 13 years. 13 years. Since 2009, he was allowed to do this for 13 years. Jeffrey Dahmer was able to do this for 13 years. I can give you more, but I don't want to treat you like children. Listen, make this public. This concerns you. Never mind this guy.
So tell everybody that you know what's going on.
Who's
because
yelling all the time.
I don't live in that country no more. I moved 3 years ago when I knew what was going on. I'm trying to say, you, America, they about to burn you down, and the FBI don't want to know about it. Look at the video for yourself. I apologize, Raphael, but god damn, like, if you are a person watching this and you have dates showing that they about to blow us up, and you can see their names in the algorithm, and you sit back scared, oh, listen, I know this nigga named Yara, I'm just telling you.
Listen, never mind the curse words and all the stuff, whatever you don't like, and if you want to make him be a different color, let us know, and then we'll put something on him. I don't know, give him some polka dots. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't care if you don't like the package. I don't even care if you don't like the delivery. What is the message, man? And listen, this affects us. Like, y'all are taking advice from these people who are saying that we got global warming and climate change and cow farts are going to kill us. All these things that you have no proof of. You can't do nothing with it. The earth is a ball. The earth is flat. Y'all can't do nothing with this information. None of this stuff. But you won't listen to the guy that's screaming about pipelines, and then some really important pipelines explode. Wake up, y'all. Come on. This ain't for likes. This is for us. So, please, I'm trying to make awareness. Please share this. This is a very, very, very important video. Please. This is the day to listen to the crazy guy. This is the day. This is when you listen to the crazy guy. This is when you listen to the guy who you walk past the subway every single day, who's spewing out some crazy shit that you think. This is the day when you say, hey, what were you saying the other day? Because the shit that they're saying on the news don't make any sense. And you know it. And what's taking place don't make any sense. And all these children walking around vaccine damage don't make sense. And all of y'all feeling like y'all got to do it because your kid got to go to school, or you got to be a part of this program or whatever, or you're going to be a bad person if you don't do it and do everything that these people tell you to do. Come on, these people are screwing us over, and you got to see what a shit show this is. I mean, you got Biden's in office, and I'm not even going to get into that because I don't like politics. I don't like to do politics. You guys don't understand how much of a disdain I have for politics. And the worst part about it is because I shouldn't. Because it should be a beautiful concept. You know, if we actually went by what the Constitution says, then you know what? It wouldn't be all of this fighting. But the fact that we're dealing with these party systems, which is literally against the Constitution actually states that no party system is ever supposed to govern us, but yet we've allowed this to take place. The devil makes you do it to yourself. What I'm saying is we have a system in place. It doesn't have to be broken, but the people that are in there need to get out. The people who they are electing for us need to get out. I'm at a point where I am absolutely 100% all the way pretty much decided that I said, fuck it. I'ma just try to run for presidency. You know, you got everybody talking about, oh, we need to find this person. We need to find this person. Well, you know what? You're going to have to find it in yourself. So I suggest everybody take some real time today to figure out where exactly they are with their life. Please share this information because something is going to happen devastating in America very soon. And we are trying to let you know. We are trying to let you know. Do not let them do this to us. We don't want to see America fall. Nobody wants to see America fall. I know America has been a part of some horrendous acts throughout history, but I don't want to see any country fall, and no country has to fall. This is all politics and this is all propaganda that you are being fed on the television. This is all Hollywood. These people are not real. They are not for you. Do not believe their fake messages. They are not real. They do not live your life. They are not you. So I am going to figure some things out, and you guys are going to be laughing in a little while. That's all I can tell you. So like I said, please share this information, and please make this as public as possible, because listen guys, we do not want this to happen, and they can't do it. If you call them out on it, they can't do it. You understand that the president of Dubai, the person who the Burj Khalifa building was named after, the person who built the Burj Khalifa building, understand that he died 4 hours on Friday the 13th, 2022. The same day, the 4 hours after we had just said that they were going to be hit in 2029. Listen, you cannot make this stuff up, and it's all recorded, and we're recording it for you. Understand that we have to take our history back. We have to take our power back. Our history is our power, knowing what happened, telling the real story, telling what happened, telling the truth, because they have inundated us with their lies, their truth, which is nothing but lies and witchcraft. I'm not going to leave it out. They lie to us about everything. So please pass this message on. Please ignore this guy who cusses a lot. Let's see. Is he going to be cussing here? Let's see.
To see the 640 different explosions at that South Dakota pipeline. It's only 26 away from that magical number of 666. Then it's going to look awfully suspicious if 26 fucking pipelines explode on October the 31st, destroying sugar. Ha 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 ha. So if you're watching it, it can't happen. So, women, please get better men. Please get stronger men. Because
they cowards.
Who are too afraid
they
to
cowards.
Email and text.
And men, get off of it. Get off of it and get behind the right thing. So I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. We all have anybody who is my age or older, you have a very, very finite amount of time to be even considered brave within the next 50 years. Within the next 50 years, our generation is going to be looked at like we were the biggest idiots, because we watched the biggest deception happen right before our eyes. And so many of us are doing nothing, or being jealous, or being angry, or being whatever, and literally swiping your nose to spite your face. So please pass this on. You can follow us on Rumble. This is Can You Dig It 1111, and of course on YouTube. So please look at the information. We are doing this, you guys, for you guys. We don't receive any kind of anything for this. This is on our time in between dealing with all of our kids. So listen, if somebody else can get the information out, that's perfectly fine. If y'all don't want us to do it, that's perfectly fine. I don't care. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I want the well-being of mankind. I think that this place is beautiful. I really do. I think this place is magic. I think that everything can be fixed, but you gotta want it to fix. And I think that we all need to figure out a way to love each other a little bit more and realize that we are all the same. Not them politicians though. They're the same in their own little thing. You know, they've got their own thing going. You know, they got their own understanding, and I think that they should all be together. They should all be together. There's nothing wrong with that. So you guys, like I said, pass the message. Please, I'm not going to apologize for Santana's delivery because I feel like this is truth. You know, he's pissed. He's not pretending that he's not pissed. You know, and he should be pissed. What's taking place in the prisons with being fired because you told the truth, that people are going blind and being medically abused and neglected. Like, man, we got to figure something out. You're paying your tax dollars for this. You're paying for this. So, this is for free. Alright, y'all. I'm out. And till next time, toodaloo.